Animal control, shelter, pound. People's perceptions of these words are as varied as the types of animals such organizations serve. But how many of us truly know what the role of these places is within our communities? The mission of the Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center is broken down into 3 areas.
We've got several facets to what our mission is. Primarily it's to prevent cruelty and neglect of animals in Frederick County. We provide sheltering for homeless animals while they're waiting either for their owners to come get them or for adoption. We also have a component to educate the public as far as what we do here at Animal Control and what we expect from pet owners in the county.
Serving on the front lines in Frederick County, there are 6 animal control officers and an animal control supervisor.
The mission for our animal control officers is to ensure the safety and the welfare of the animals here in Frederick County, and also to enforce the relevant codes of the Frederick County, Frederick City, and State of Maryland codes. Our first tool is education. We talk to people every day, we educate people every day on how to be a more responsible pet owner, educate them on the local laws and ordinances here in Frederick County. If education doesn't work, we can proceed to verbal warnings, written warnings, and then ultimately civil citations, which is a fine. We respond to all types of complaints with domestic animals, from running at large to the pickup of stray animals, injured, sick, complaints of neglect and cruelty, and animal bites. For the wildlife here in Frederick County, we only respond to calls for sick, injured, or possibly rabid.
Animals make their way from the community to the shelter for a number of reasons, the most common of which are being picked up as strays or being relinquished by their owners to the division.
As soon as an animal arrives here, we start developing what their pathway might be, and that can be either returned to their owner if it's a stray animal. That's our preference. If you're missing an animal, you want to check the shelter. Adoption is another outcome for animals that are brought in. Euthanasia is a last resort if an animal is deemed to be unadoptable for whatever reason, health, temperament, behavior. We also work with rescue organizations. So a lot of times if purebred animals come in, while we would love to make them available to Frederick County citizens, and we do, sometimes if we have an overpopulation of animals here, we work with rescue organizations. Rescues also help us with the overload of cats that we typically see through the year.
Animals that call animal control their home are not left to spend their days unattended and lonely in cages. A large staff and volunteer community work to ensure that all animals in the care of the Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center are healthy and happy.
In-house in animal control, in our actual shelter facility, we make an effort to keep animals comfortable, to provide them enrichment by way of toys, interaction with people. We've got a large volunteer base that helps us achieve our mission. So our role here in-house is really to maintain animals as healthy as we can and as comfortable as we can during their short stay with us. The first thing we do with animals that once they come in, depending on if they're stray or owned, typically if they have no vaccine history, we try to offer them preventatives. So we have preventative vaccines, deworming, and flea and tick topicals that we administer upon entry or within 24 hours, and that is to protect the incoming animal as well as protecting the animals that are already here. Once an animal is taken in, we check for a microchip. We check lost reports to see if anybody might be missing this animal, and then we house the animal depending on what species it is. We're open admission, so we not only take in dogs and cats, we take in bunnies, we take in rodents, we take in poultry, we take in whatever animals need us. So we provide them appropriate housing, appropriate food, water, and so forth, just to kind of get them settled in. While they're here, our staff is constantly providing care, assessing their health, their behavior, and their temperament, and trying to continue to develop a pathway for where the animal will end up.
The hope is that each animal's pathway will lead to loving, permanent homes. But until then, the Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center will be here to protect and care for all the animals in our community. If you would like to learn more about what goes on within the division or have general questions about animal welfare, call 301-600-1546 or visit frederickcountymd.gov/FCAC.